He's never fought us. Not us united.
Die. Oh! I can so see that. That's it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Justice League Rewatch here on Comics League. I'm Jared, and I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. I had to make sure I was pointing in the right direction. How are you, brother?
I'm feeling a bit wet.
I don't know, dude.
Feeling a bit washed out.
You're acting kind of fishy. I don't know.
It's just hard swimming so hard.
All right, so we're talking about
especially only with one usable arm.
So we're talking about.
Is that enough of a hook for you?
We're talking about the third arc of Justice League called The Enemy Below, which is basically in this show the first appearance of Aquaman, because he showed up in the Superman animated series, but in this show he shows up with the beard, the long hair. At first, 2 hands, but then he got the hook hand because at the time, in Grant Morrison's JLA, Aquaman had the beard, long hair, and hook hand.
We need to try and make Aquaman cool, but Jason Momoa is still 20 years away from playing the role, so we got to bide our time.
I wonder if they'll give him the hook hand in Aquaman too.
I don't know.
By the way, there's a rumor that Gal is going to show up in Aquaman.
Wouldn't be surprised. I right off the bat,
they're putting back the Ben Affleck thing according to a rumor.
So I do want to say though, speaking of the Aquaman movie, there are a lot of similarities in the story of this versus.
I know, right? I just rewatched it and I was like, oh my god! It's like they keep it, and it's kind of funny. I bet you Jeff Johns was inspired by this episode right here when he wrote his run, because that's pretty much that too.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
The only thing about it, Orm did not call himself Ocean Master.
But we all know
he's Ocean Master. It's basically the coup. The only difference is between this and the Aquaman movie and the comic is because in this, Aquaman starts off as King of Atlantis.
Also, in this movie, Mira does not crap the bed, which is
Mira's not an annoying character, in other words. So yes, thank you. That's so
I actually
good.
like Mira in this one.
Oh yeah, the DCAU Mira is fantastic. You kidding me?
Yes, she's got that kind of feminine strength that I just adore.
She's still Mera, she's still the tough, badass chick that we all read about, but she's also has a little more of a motherly side to her. It's probably because in this she is a mother and all that.
It's like you think you could mess with my child.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that's very interesting that they would roll with that. And yeah, I guess
see you scrolling. I see what you're looking for.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I can never find the clip. Okay, here we go.
You think you can threaten my mother?
That never gets old. That never gets old.
But anyway, so this episode is basically Throne of Atlantis, where the surface world has a submarine. It gets attacked by Aquaman this time and his troops. They sink the ship. Justice League shows up, and actually the javelins now can double as submarines, apparently.
It's almost like it does whatever the plot needs it to do.
Imagine if it wasn't able to do that, and then they go right in the water, and then Batman goes, "Oops, forgot to turn it into a submersible."
Yeah, I'm sorry. The airtight compartments, they're going to be they actually were supposed to be delivered on Tuesday. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, sorry guys. And then Green Lantern's like, God damn it, Batman. But actually, when you think about it, this was a pretty dope Green Lantern episode too, because he's not trusting Aquaman. He to the point where he investigates on their own, and then discovers that Aquaman, well, actually more like, I'm gonna call him Ocean Master, stole the plutonium from the submarine.
Mm-hmm. Also, so since last week you kind of pointed out that each episode certain members of the Justice League are gone, and this week it's Flash and Hawkgirl, but the voice actor of Flash is still in the episode, because if you noticed, Deadshot is voiced by Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, when you think about it, it makes sense that Flash and Hawkgirl wouldn't be in this episode because this is underwater.
Yeah.
And you can't fly underwater, and you can't run very fast underwater.
Also, you notice how there's entire sequences where Batman is just like, nope.
I love where Batman first shows up. He's like, you see the white eyes and he just walks forward. Then, of course, you have the iconic moment. So Deadshot tries to kill Aquaman. He gets captured by the Justice League, and he's like, he basically goes to Wonder Woman. Yeah, you're not gonna you won't get any answers out of me unless you want to sweeten the deal. Batman just takes him and goes, "Let me give you a word of advice." You don't hear what he says, and then Deadshot's like, "Okay, I'll tell you everything."
Oh, by the way. You need to clip the Superman saying you don't want to know. You need to clip that. That is clip worthy.
Yeah. I'll do that immediately. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is perfect clip material for you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for this show. So essentially, this episode I like to say has like the theme of trust, because we notice this is all about Aquaman learning to trust the surface world, the Justice League learning to trust Aquaman. Even it's kind of funny, Wonder Woman is very cordial to Arthur, and it's most likely because he's a king, she's a princess. She understands the like pressures of royalty and like running a kingdom.
Also, I know in the Snyderverse, the Atlanteans and the Themyscirans have been at war with each other.
Yeah, they went to war.
Like I'd like to say that like he was probably more aware of Atlantis or whatnot because like it seems like Themyscira was more aware of man's world than they were in the Snyderverse.
Oh yeah, they definitely were, because in the comics, the Themyscira has like a mirror, like mirror on the wall that just shows it's basically a window into man's world. So I'd imagine they have something like that, or like somehow they're aware. Maybe they send out scouts.
I'm sure Dane is like, mirror, mirror, show me Bruce's bedroom.
No, she goes, mirror, mirror. Oh, well, yeah, and then she sees essentially Bruce sleeping alone, and then she essentially goes, "That'll be the way it'll always be." And then she goes, "Hey, mirror, mirror on the wall, can you show me Clark?"
And then it shows him and Lois, and she's like, no.
And then he's immediately like, "Oh, thank you, Lois, for helping me stretch my shoulder out. I can't believe that this was in such a way that anyone could misconstrue it, because you and I would never be together."
And then and then they look around on the wall, and it's just like hand and butt prints everywhere.
Okay, yeah, thank you. But and then as she leaves, Lois goes, "You should ask out Diana," and then I'll just leave it at that. But I also like a lot of the underwater action scenes in this were just amazing. Seeing Superman work underwater, which was,
I mean, they really put the aqua in the man.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be this great moment in the show later, the great Batman moment. I'm just gonna tease you right now, where something's happening to Batman, like he's falling, and then he goes, "I need backup. I can't fly like at all." Really good. It's really good. That I think is in JLU. But anyway, another thing that I really like about this is that, I mean, let me put it this way. Aquaman does not join the Justice League. This is one that ties, because it's not until the end of this show that they decide to expand the team and decide, hey, maybe the 7 of us can't really do this on our own.
So how many do you want to send? Send everybody.
Yeah, it's only in JLU that they decide to add members. And I don't think Aquaman ever officially joins the Justice League in the show. Which is odd, because he was a founding member in Grant Morrison's JLA.
And he's usually a founding member in most runs anyway.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, odd. Well, this was also during the time when Aquaman was still in that jokey phase when no one took him seriously, despite the fact that
To be fair, he's basically been taken as a joke ever since the 70s. Like I'd say Super Friends is really what solidified the jokey Aquaman, like the Super Friends back in the 70s, where it's like him riding on the seahorse and whatnot.
Him like windsurfing on 2 dolphins. Yeah, exactly. Aquaman, and that's for you.
That actually sounds kind of cool, to be honest.
It does sound kind of cool, but
is Aquaman the ones who the dolphins made him cry?
Yeah. By the way, so fun fact: the storyline that this is based on, the baby actually dies in the storyline.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't take off his arm or anything like that. The baby dies, and this leads to a divorce between him and Mara.
Freeing up Mara.
Obviously, they get back together, but okay.
Oh yeah.
But my point is that that's what happens in the comics, and that's why that's why they don't have a son in the comics now. They have a daughter. I think her name is like Artie or something like that. But it's so that's kind of like an interesting similarity between the comics and the movies. So Nick, your overall thoughts on the arc, like how would you rate it and such?
8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very, very solid. Like it didn't like blow me away. Like I enjoyed it. 9 is like above average is an 8.5, but like great is a 9, amazing, which is 10, but I rarely give out 10s.
Yeah, oh, trust me. There's an arc in here that gets a 10. Trust me.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and the next arc is called Injustice for All. It deals with the Injustice Gang.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
That's a funny name for a superhero group, the Injustice Gang. It sounds a lot like a group of hoodlums in New York, in an old New York neighborhood.
Yeah, it doesn't really roll off the tongue that well. Like I prefer like the Injustice Society or the Injustice League.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Injustice Society actually. Oh my god! Like Legion of Doom is just like so cheesy, or League of Doom or whatever.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But
back at their super headquarters, the Legion of Doom. Like every time you say that, I think of Super Friends.
That looks like a Darth Vader helmet. So there you go.
Oh my god, yes.
It does look. It looks like Darth Vader helmet all around. Yeah, exactly. Me personally, I would give this one about an 8.5 out of 10. It's not amazing. It's good, particularly if you're a fan of Aquaman, which back then, if you were a fan of Aquaman, I commend you.
This series of episodes, there are many things, but they're not a wash.
Okay. And personally, my favorite arc so far is the In Blackest Night, just because I'm a huge Green Lantern fan, and then Jon Stewart belting out that oath. I
don't have a favorite yet because we're only 3 arcs in. It's really hard to say because there's not that many to choose from. So I'm reserving that statement for later on.
I'm saying, as someone that has watched all of them, this is how I.
Okay, that makes sense. That works.
Either that, or in this series, the one that ends the first series. No, the last arc of season 2 is my favorite.
Okay.
Even if it has one moment that feels wonder about BS. But all right, so on that note, we're gonna.
I think that might be my favorite arc then.
But we're gonna call it for this one. Remember, next arc is gonna be Injustice for All. That's episodes 8 and 9. I believe it's 2 episodes. Yeah, 8 and 9. Yeah, I think. Yes, from what I'm seeing, the first arc is the only one that gets 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, except for the Savage Time, which is the last arc of season 1. So okay, so next week we're talking about Injustice for All, the Injustice Gang. So Nick, where can everyone find you, and what have you got coming out on the channel?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at the Phoenix Press, YouTube the same. I'm hard at work on issue 3. I should have my first penciled panel to show this Wednesday for Work in Progress Wednesday. Also, I have a cover now that it's been shared. It's like the cover artist Zevia shared it. I'll be publicly sharing it on my thing myself tomorrow, so that'll be really cool.
I've seen it. It looks great. It's a Zevia's cover. Of course, it looks good.
Yep.
But for me, tomorrow I have not tomorrow, but by the time this comes out, I have a video on the channel talking about Donny Cates' Venom run. In terms of Indie Wednesday, I'm still deciding that. And then on Friday, in this weekend's Under Two Capes, we're talking about why Jimmy Olsen is important to Superman.
Ooh, that's going to be a heated debate.
Well, it's not because that's the one place where I agree with most Superman fans that you need Jimmy Olsen.
Okay.
Which arguably he hasn't really done much in the comics, so it's like.
Yeah, it's because most people, I feel like they don't really know how to use him. Like,
plus, you had that really weird series called Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, that was the thing is that was a comic book series 50 years ago. So it's like you'd think we would have moved on by then.
Yeah, and before you say how can you be a Jimmy Olsen fan and a Snyderverse fan, as I could have easily said, the CIA assumed his identity. It's that simple. They do it all the time.
I mean, to me, if we're going to talk about that real quick, to me, I thought they explicitly stated it. Like they just use his credentials because he's not Jimmy Olsen. He's a CIA guy pretending to be Jimmy Olsen. I don't think they even call him Jimmy in the movie anyway.
He introduces himself to Lois as Jimmy Olsen, but the CIA person never calls him Agent Olsen or anything like that.
No, he's taking the identity, and also it's very easy because like the Daily Planet is a big organization. It's very easy for like Lois to have never met Jimmy before.
Plus the fact if you say, well, Zach said it was Jimmy Olsen, well, Zach also said it was Nightwing that was dead, and that could easily change.
Yeah, because remember, that grave was never actually shown in the movies.
It was shown in the movies, but it's like one shot that they could easily like go in there and like change it.
Yeah.
No,
Nothing that was
anyway,
explicitly stated.
And no one said it was Dick Grayson. All you see is a Robin suit, and that's it.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's where we're gonna leave that. Who is your favorite character in this arc? What was your favorite moment? Were you an Aquaman fan when this was coming out? Like, comment, subscribe, and let us know. Stay heroic, everyone, and we will see you in the next Rewatch.